Hello everyone, it's Man, and welcome back to the Radical Red Showdown Low Tier Draft League tier list. Well, tier league. Draft league. Whatever. Last time we got another forfeit win, and now this time we are going against Kibo, coach of... They never gave me a team name, so coach of team number 12. They're running with Zygar Ted, Volcanion, Kilowattrel, Mega Butterfree, Tinkaton, Absol, Artillery, and Weasel. And there's one Pokemon I want to put into special note here. Mega Butterfree is another Pokemon that has a Mega Evolution. It has high special attack and a higher defense, which means it can actually do damage. Pokemon that we're bringing this week are going to be Swoobat with moves like Teleport, Esper Wing, Calm Mind, Superior with Leaf Storm, Reverum, Gastrodon, Vivillon, and we're bringing our Nose Pass in for this last week to see if we can do anything with it. So, we'll be right back with the match. So, this is actually post-commentary because I forgot to unmute myself for this whole thing, but we have our match with Kibo here, and I make exception of a few mistakes that I should not have made. I start off with Nose Pass, and they start off with Artillery. I thought they were going to use a Water move, so I switched to Gastrodon, which should happen eventually. I could have stayed in as Nose Pass, but I switched into Gastrodon. They use Energy Ball, almost killing my Gastrodon. So I basically got that Gastrodon the heck out of there. And got in Superior thinking it would use another Grass move, which, luckily, I was correct. So I followed up with a Leaf Storm to get the contrary boost on, and hopefully it can easily do some damage. They switch out into their Tinkaton, which was basically one of their main problems I had to deal with in this battle. And of course they get like a little boost, but nothing that I really had could easily deal with it. I did put a Dragon move on Superior thinking I would need it, but the fact that I have a Fairy type in front of me, I couldn't do much with it, so I had to switch out because another Leaf Storm wasn't going to do much against it. So I switched back out to Gastrodon just to sack it, just so I could get a safe switch out into a different Pokemon. Which I went into Vivillon Polar, and decided to get off my own Quiver Dance. It does go to sleep, but unfortunately, to my bad luck, I get at least one Quiver Dance out, and they awaken from their sleep. Which they get a Stone Edge in, but luckily I was sashed, so I was able to tank that damage. The only problem is, Vivillion's now useless to me if I can't get a single attack out, and none of my moves really do effective damage to it with one Quiver Dance. I needed more than one turn of sleep. So that was RNG working against me, so I decided to use Signal Beam, but unfortunately, Gigaton Hammer. At this point, I believe I decided to throw in Nose Pass to start taking care of Tinkaton. I think I threw a Nose Pass. Yeah, I threw a Nose Pass. Now, the one thing I didn't realize, Mold Breaker actually gets past 30. I can't do anything to this thing. My little strat of basic reducing health does not work in this scenario. Because I tried using Magic Coat, they use Play Rough, I go down. Because I was expecting like some sort of toxic move. Which, yes, it wouldn't affect the Steel type, but at least it would have been thrown back at it. So at that point, I had a Superior, Reverum, and Swoobat. I decided to try to get Swoobat out just to get something done, because I did have Heat Wave on Swoobat to deal damage to Steel-type Pokemon, but unfortunately it won't be able to do much because it doesn't have a boost. And Gigaton Hammer just takes it out. At that point, I'm basically worried, thinking I'm about to get swept by a Tickaton. So, thinking that I've lost, I believe I throw out Reverum here and just try to get a stat boost in. So yeah, I decided to go for Shift Gear. Noted, I don't have a ground type move on this Reverum because I don't believe Shift Gear works with any of the ground type moves that Reverum actually gets. Yeah, I don't think Reverum gets Earthquake. But at this point, they switch out to Kilowatt Roll, which is an electric bird, so I'm basically just saying, yeah, I need to take that thing out now because that thing was going to take me out fast. So I simply just take it out with a Poison Jab, which one hit. And essentially, I do outspeed all of his Pokemon. So like the Zygarde, I believe I think I actually used Iron Head here. Because Poison Jab doesn't do much damage to it, so Iron Head was actually the better option here. And at this point, I started basically a reverse sweep on them. Which I think they throw out Volcanion next. Yeah, they throw out Volcanion next. And honestly, I thought that's where they would have been able to stop me, but I didn't think Poison Jab would actually do that much damage with Stealth Rocks being on the field, so Nosepass is doing another good job with just having the hazards out there. Then we have Octillery here. I try to go for another Poison Jab, but Tickaton comes out, and that's where that problem comes in. I knew that if I switch out to Superior, I was going to lose, so I had to go for an Iron Head. But they decided to switch out to Butterfree, which unfortunately Stealth Rock basically makes its health at half, which eventually I take out the Butterfree myself, and then surprisingly, they don't bring out Tinkaton, but they bring out Octillery. Now, here's my next mistake that I decided to make. I decided to do Iron Head over Poison Jab because I thought they were going to switch out to Tinkaton, which they didn't. I don't get the flinch, and Water Pulse takes out Reverum. At that point, I'm left with Superior, and essentially, I don't know why they didn't switch Octillery out. I think I'm actually faster than the Tinkaton, but at the same time, Leaf Storm doesn't really kill it. And Gigaton Hammer takes the game, so they decided to win, and honestly, this was a match to decide who made playoffs, so next time on this league, and hopefully not post-commentary, we'll be doing a recap of the team.